All right. We are now live, episode 59. You're wrapping up the 50 episodes tonight. So, welcome. We got Natalie Himmelberger here tonight with us. And Miss Boom, as always. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well.
So, thank you for joining us.
No
of
worries.
course, we'll talk about it later, but Sharkula came out this past Tuesday. So, can't wait to talk about that. I'd have to say that's my new favorite Polonia movie or shark movie. So
it could be both.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I like Return to Splatter Farm. I mean, there's so many of his that are. Really, I mean, it's hard to choose. But as for shark movie, out of the slashers and all that, definitely Sharkula. So, and then I also got Jurassic Shark 2, which was on streaming a while, and this was recent on DVD. Sorry, bad reflection, but yeah. So, but anyway, how's your week been?
Busy. Yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, oh my gosh, what day is it? It's Saturday. Oh my word, it's Saturday.
Saturday. Yep.
Yeah. Last time I knew it was like Tuesday, and then it was like, boom, everything just kind of, blows up in the face sometimes. But
which almost seems like we just did our promo together. It's like the time warp going on here, just
something
right through. So yeah, well, it looks like getting some views here. Whenever has any questions or anything, we'll go ahead and read them off for you. So I'll go ahead and we'll start it off. Where did you grow up, and were you in any plays or anything, or what got you into acting?
The growing up is such a hard question. I'll give the whole where I'm from, and then I'll explain why.
You haven't grown up yet? Me neither. It's good. I'm a man child.
No, I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I moved to rural Illinois and stayed there for about 5 years, then moved to Nairobi, Kenya, which is in East Africa, stayed there for first grade, moved back to Waltham, Illinois, the rural community, middle of a farm or a cornfield, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm from Illinois too. I know there's a lot of corn.
Children of the corn. Okay, yes.
See for miles when there's not a cornfield anyway.
Yes.
6th grade, about halfway through 6th grade, I moved over to Southeast Asia, which more specifically Chiang Mai, Thailand. It's in northern Thailand. In that area of the world, you've got Vietnam, Burma, and Laos, Cambodia, that area. I spent my high school years there, and when I graduated, I moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan to do the first 3 years of college, then moved to Wellsboro, Pennsylvania to finish out my last 2 years of college, and then continued to move around the world and ended up back here where I met Mr. Himmelberger. So, my parents were pastor. My dad was a pastor, and then we became missionaries to live overseas. And as an adult, when I went back overseas, it's because I had my teacher's degree. So I was teaching for a while.
Okay, so that's what I was just about to ask. I was like, either missionary or military or something, one of the two.
Not military, yeah, the other, yeah.
Missionary.
So really enjoyed that. Was in a few plays. So my international school was fairly big. I was able to do Oklahoma. I had a really big role. I had 2 lines. I think I still know them. And we did a couple other just little dramas. And then in college, I auditioned, but I wasn't a theater major. So they tried to give most of the roles to the theater kids. And by the time they got to the really small roles, I didn't make it. But locally, I think Titus probably told you his involvement with Hamilton Gibson, our local theater group, which we're kind of.
I think he meant.
I think it might have touched on it a bit. So we do a little bit of theater, but not really ever movies. So this was cool, getting involved with the Polonia crew.
And growing up in a religious household, I'm assuming you wasn't introduced to the horror very early.
Surprisingly, my cousin kind of introduced me to some of that stuff, but no, it was a lot of X-Files. I liked the X-Files growing up. I remember a babysitter actually was watching it with us, and then something, I don't know, some bloody half of a person rose to the top, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? It's nothing. don't tell your parents, okay? And I never did because I didn't want to get her in trouble. And then I watched that episode like on Hulu or something later. I was like, that's it. That's the episode. I got really excited, but no, not a lot of
I haven't
horror.
watched the X-Files in so long, but great show.
But I loved sci-fi growing up. Like I remember when Jurassic Park came out and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jurassic World is the best. And I fell in love with dinosaurs and still kind of hoping Polonia does a dinosaur movie. Really got into just like loved the zombie thing for a while. Didn't get into the whole vampire genre too much, but I liked it. I liked the idea of it. Like my sci-fi.
Nice. Yeah, I have a cousin that's super religious and they're huge into sci-fi as well.
Nowhere says you can.
Sci-fi religion is there? No, I'm just kidding. I won't make that joke. But yeah, no. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to hell. I'm sorry.
Did you meet Titus on one of the sets? Oh, sorry. I guess.
What's that?
I think we were asking a question at the same time, so I'll let him go. Oh, I was just asking if you met Titus on set.
Who was it? What?
Oh, could you hear me?
No, sorry. It was.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't know what's going on with my stuff, but did you meet Titus on set then?
Oh, on set. I thought you were asking me about the sunset, and I was like, yeah, the sunset.
It's a beautiful sunset.
Yes. No, actually not on set, but we met on stage, so it's close. We did a radio drama of Dracula, and he was young Dracula, and I was Mina Harker. And in that version of Dracula, she actually stabs him and kills him. So that was exciting. And I remember thinking, oh, that guy, there's no way he's single. And I couldn't talk to him because like stupid stuff would come out of my mouth. And I'm like, I don't want him to think I'm stupid. So I just won't talk to him at all. That actually ended up working in my favor because obviously happy ending. But after we had met, we did a couple of other shows together, really just kind of like that's how it happened. We did Oliver together and I think we had just started dating a little bit. And in that one, he played Bill Sykes. And if you know the musical, his girl is Nancy and he kills her. So we just take turns killing each other and it's fine. Only theater people and movie people would like understand the humor in that. Everyone else is like, that's really dark. I think it's hilarious.
Frustrations out.
The darker the better. So you actually broke his heart before getting together since you stabbed him in the heart. But okay.
Stab broke. It was just great.
He turned to dust. Since you've done plays and everything, and you've done musicals, do you sing at all, or you just did lines or help on set?
To sing. Yeah, I love it. I can't read music, so I have to listen to like how certain things sound. So that's actually really helpful when it comes to memorizing lines. I'll read it out loud and then I'll listen to it. And then I'm like, oh, that's the word I need to say. So I did a play, Taming of the Shrew, and I was Catherine. And she has about a 1.5-page monologue. It's a doozy. And people ask, like, well, how did you memorize that? I'm like, well, we memorize songs all the time. And if you think about it, you memorize an entire 4 minutes of the talking. Of course, the music, but that's how I memorize is by sound. So
it'd be a good way to memorize, I would think. I've never tried, but I could see that being a good.
Everybody has their different methods. Some people I know, they just constantly write them down. I was like, I wouldn't want anybody to find my notebooks full of like the same lines over and over.
All work and no play, big jacket, dull boy.
Kind of boy.
Have a little shining moment there. What is this crazy person right now? So I guess when you read script, so whether it's for a play or movie, what's your method getting into the character? How do you imagine yourself there?
I like to read the whole play or the whole script, and then I'll come back. I'll find my character. I'll read her lines over and over again. I have to like stand up and talk around. I like to hear the lines being read out loud and then kind of start imagining. And once I have like an imaginary background for whatever character, then I can kind of see, oh, well, she's going to be wearing this, or she's going to be wearing that. There was one movie I was going to be in for Mark that I got really, really sick with the flu, and I was like on my butt the whole entire weekend. He's like, it's only going to take a weekend. I'm like, I can't. Like, I sounded awful. I looked awful. But I was so excited to do this character whose name was April Showers. And I was like, oh, I've got this adorable umbrella. I was going to get this crinoline skirt and kind of do like a goofy anime kind of character. And I was really excited because I'm like, this is something I've never done before. And I haven't done it because I got really sick.
Well, hopefully Mark will give another chance to put that character in something else.
I'm sure she'll pop up somewhere.
Maybe in a dinosaur movie. Who knows?
You never know. She could fight a dinosaur or a zombie or become a zombie. I don't know.
She'll use her umbrella as a weapon. Just pop it open in the mouth and run off.
Oh, it has the push button. It was that kind where you like push it and it goes off.
You can just like shove it in the dinosaur's mouth and run off.
It's doable.
Yeah. Those umbrellas could be violent. So yes, definitely.
Yeah. Or maybe get one of those the black and white ones, kind of like the hypnotic ones when you spin them around.
And you can slowly spin it, and for sure.
Yeah. That would be funny. Hypnotized dinosaur. That'd be even funnier.
You got to be ready to count. Your Mark. We solved your.
We always throw out these movies ideas every week. So I don't know. So
I think Rex. I don't know. There's something in there.
Always is. One of our just ideas are just going to be like, okay, I thought of that now. So
how'd you end up meeting Mark and getting into the?
Actually, our first movie we did, that was back. It was May or June or something. So I'm a school teacher by trade. So school had just gotten out, and Mark's like, "Oh, I'm going to do this movie." It went through so many names. I can't honestly remember its name. I think it's In Search Of. I think that was the final title. It came out not too long ago. In Search Of Bigfoot. Anyway, and that was my.
Was that the Real Monster one?
Real Monster. That's what it was. Yes, thank you.
Okay,
yeah. So that was the first movie I was in, and Titus was like, "Oh, it's fun. Like we hang out, and sometimes it goes to like 2 a.m, and sometimes you're done in like an hour." Okay, that's like a really big time gap, but okay, that's fine. It's summer, and I was so nervous because like I would like sit down and I'm like shaking, and he's like, Mark was like, do you want to hold your script? Like you don't have to be nervous. He was really nice about it. And then nobody I knew was actually in that movie. But then when it came out and I rewatched it, I was like, oh my gosh, I do movies with them all the time now. And it was just kind of neat to look back at the first one that came out. But Real Monsters was the first. The second one was a really small role, and I think it was Shark Encounters of the Third Kind. Mm-hmm. And Mark was like,
just brought up a question, actually. Sorry to interrupt you, but Queen Fan 5 was saying, Natalie, weren't you in Alien Surveillance, Shark Encounters of the Third Kind, and Frozen Sasquatch?
Alien Surveillance. Yes,
I remember correctly. I saw you in those films. Yeah. So yes, that person saw those films. Yeah.
It's so much fun doing Alien Surveillance because there were no lines. All of that was really like scripted. Mark would be like, okay, in this part, like I want this to happen. So you kind of go here, and then the action works its way up. At this point, this is the climax of the scene, and then we can go from there. And it was so cool how it all kind of meshed together. And I don't know how much I'm allowed to like give away for like behind the scenes kind of talk.
Give away as much as you want.
It doesn't matter.
We each took turns being the aliens because of depending on who had to be led away. And it became my turn. I had to wear the alien costume. I'm 5'4" with shoes. So I'm not the tallest of the gang. And my alien head kept caving in because my head wasn't big enough. So I had to walk around looking up, and they had to pull the neck down so the eyes were all not lined up. But if I looked up, like forward, and then the forehead would just collapse. So I was walking around looking like this. I couldn't see a thing. But when we were
I think I remember that alien that didn't look like didn't know what it was doing.
Yeah, you can tell. Once you know, you can tell. You can oh, that one's NATILIE because they don't know where
I'm
they're
gonna have to go back and watch it now because that is in my Wild Eye collection. I've got
go back and look for the alien. He's like, I can't help anyone.
Yeah, like kind of like what was it, Space Invaders? How they would look around and stuff. I don't know if you remember that movie.
This was the alien that their parents were like, you have to take him. You have to take him with you. Oh,
he's the special alien.
And while we were dressed up in those alien costumes, it was just getting about dusk. There was a drive-through ATM behind us. And sure enough, this, SUV comes in and this little girl's just looking like, huh. Mom, and her mom's like, and she's doing her whole bank thing, and the kid's just like, well, that's different. And we all like slowly waved, and she kind of slowly waved back, and like was like so proud of herself. I was like, I feel like I just blessed somebody. Like that was the highlight of the movie. I was like, yes, got to be in an alien costume. I hope she doesn't have to go to therapy, but still, it was a cool experience for me.
That would be cool. If you start talking about your character in a Shark Encounters.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
No, you're fine. I was just bringing it back.
I'm going to get distracted. I'm going to be all over the place.
No, you're fine.
Masturbation portal.
We got
a wonderful story about the Alien movie. I'm all for that.
Anything about aliens.
So Alien and Sharks, like that was the first, I guess, shark movie I think I did with him. And Mark's like, this is going to be a lot easier than your first role. Like it took maybe 20 minutes to film my role. And he was like, you're going to be a crazy cat lady. I was like, okay, crazy cat lady. And I knew a crazy cat lady growing up. And I was like, you know what? I think I have a sweater just like hers. So, like, let me get the most obscure random things out of my closet and put them together. And I came out because Mark picked me up and we were going to go to like I don't even know. It was like behind some park where there was a giant gravel pile and a giant sand pile and whatnot. And it was fun to do that scene because he's like, oh, and you're going to be talking with this other person who wasn't there. I thought, well, I don't know how you're going to do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense, Mark. And he's like, well, it will. Like, you don't get it yet. And then I thought, that's how we did it. I was like, that's really cool. Like, I love the movie magic behind it, like the physics, I guess you could say. And the final product, which you're like, oh my gosh, like didn't even see how that was going to come out. It's neat to watch and be in a part of the process and then see the final.
Yeah, I think it's funny because you are playing the crazy cat lady and then they have the alien like get the glowy cat eyes.
Yes. So, which is ironic because I'm really allergic. I was like, can there not be any cats, Mark? He's like, oh, I kind of wanted there to be cats. I was like, I need to be able to breathe.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Cat allergies and that fun. Get like the little stuffed animal ones that they have and stuff.
Yeah, it's totally fun.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only non-allergic one here. My cat was just rubbing up on me a little bit ago. I was having to like push him away. Sometimes he likes to get up here with me.
Yeah.
What was it like? About a month or so, I forget how long it was, when we had Jenny Russo on, and we were talking about she kills that cat that got pulled apart, like that fake cat doll. Get one of those.
Well, maybe. I think my dogs would probably tear it away before I could.
Yeah,
Little things. We give them like these tiny little great squeaker things, and it's just like, you know, a crime scene when we come home. You're like, all right, get up, yellow tape. Someone killed Lamb Chop.
I have a dog. I feel your pain.
Paw over there. There's stuffing scattered to the kitchen. I don't know.
We bought this one toy. I think it was from PetSmart that was supposed to be like able to stand up. And my dog is not big by any means. She's been on camera a few times, but she's like 25, 26 pounds. She's not big. Her mom was Pekingese, so she's little. We get this toy and it looks like an actual rabbit. It's like all furry and looks like a bunny. Yeah. Well, the rest of her is like high prey dogs because she's mixed. So the rest of her breeds are like high prey driven. She gets up, bunny. It lasted 30 minutes. And it was supposed to be like medium or strong strength towards. Yeah, she had that thing murdered and the squeaker taken out of it. Right now, she's on this thing. We found these duck toys that when you squeeze them, they don't squeak. They actually quack. We've been through like 5 of them. She absolutely loves those things.
Better a duck than your shoes, I guess.
Yeah, she's never done that. Well, since she was a puppy, but yeah, but she will murder actual animals too.
You don't want to turn her into a situation.
Like, watch out, my dog will murder.
She will. She don't look like it, but she will. She looks like a cute little fluffy thing you want to cuddle, but she will kill something. We got Queen Fan has a few comments. Says I loved all the films that they mentioned before. If I'm being honest, they are a nice change after viewing all the Halloweens and Friday the 13th. And they also said that weren't you in Bride of the Werewolf 2, right? And they said they saw that like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was the most difficult role. There were no lines. It was awesome. It was awesome. Like, NATILIE, go stand over there. Okay. What do I do? Just stand there for a second. Oh, okay. Now growl. Oh, I can growl. Okay. Like, this is awesome.
They had to have this like face.
You should just mess with them.
Yeah. Like I can do that. I can do that role again. That's fine. We were experimenting with some scar tissue. So we got Titus does all this stuff. He loves to look it up. So he got this. It looked like clear and smelled like clear nail polish. So you put that on, and then you kind of like just drag like a little bit. I guess it's like spirit gum. It could be. And then we had a bruise wheel, and we were like adding that to it. And then Mark had the fake blood, and it took us a couple of tries before we actually got like the one that we really wanted. So it was that movie where I started taking selfies and sending them to my mom. And I was like, "Hey Mom, what's your Friday night?" And she goes, "That's gross. What did you do?" "Nothing. Just did a Polonia movie." I was like, "Oh, what did you do this time?" I was like, "I was a dead mute." Okay. Did you have fun? I was like, "Yeah, I did. Thanks." Okay.
I'm so proud of you.
And a little pat.
That's basically what I get from her, like via text. Although they have watched a couple of our movies, and they're like, those are good. They're pretty good. I don't know if they watched Bride of the Werewolf with us. But they watched some Polonia movies with us. That's fun.
And Queen Fan was asking if a lot of your movies have no lines. I take it. We know that's
no. That was actually a very rare occasion. It was actually really fun though. I would do more with no lines. Sarah Duterte in the Dracula movie, Steven, she had one of those roles with no lines, and I was like, oh man, she got that. But I really liked being in the Sharkula one. No, a lot of it, they're varying amounts. There's been so many that we've done in the last 3 years. A lot of them really blend together. But I have a lot of my favorites that stick out. We always, since Titus and I started doing them together, we try to put little like Easter eggs in there every once in a while. I don't know who picks them up, but but
At least for you, if nobody else does.
like he wore he had that red Hawaiian shirt in what was his first shark movie? It was Sharkenstein. Sharkenstein. So he still had those in his closet. He actually had two. And so when we were like these bird watchers in another one of Mark's movies, I was like, oh, let's wear the Max Hawaiian shirt.
I'm gonna have to go watch Camp Murder again now and look at all this stuff.
That's what I was one of the Camp Murders. So we try to do little things like that. Makes it fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions, like how hard or easy it is to work with, because Titus is in like I think every movie you've been in that I've saw anyway, or at least most of them.
I haven't been in every movie he's done, but I think every movie I've been in, he's also been in some shape or form. Yeah, I think Sharkula I was in longer. But we had a lot of fun planning those costumes together, and I wish like our roles were longer simply because like so much thought went into it. We got all these fake tattoos, and we were gonna be like rock star hippie thug motor. Like there was a lot going on. There's a lot of like theme backgrounds, like motorcycle.
That's what Titus was telling us on the show. You like ran into someone while dressing up.
My brother came by. That's little what it was. And bless his heart, he brought like some food over. It was like, hey, just wanted to surprise. Oh, hi there. And I had like my fake nose ring in, like bull style. Titus had his on, and we put on like sunglasses. We're like, hey man. He's like, oh no, I gotta go. I don't know what this is. We're like, it's just a Polonia movie. So I'm gonna have to give him the DVD and be like, this is why.
There we are. This is why I was dressed up like that, okay?
Come on.
At least you have fun working.
That's why I was joking around.
I think I'd murder mine if I worked on some with him.
We have a lot of fun together.
So I don't know if they asked you yet, but I was going to ask the same question I asked Thumb. Who or what inspired you to start acting? Very good question.
Who? I don't know if there's a specific who. I think every kid kind of grows up and, you know, whether it's a book or if it's a movie or a song, you're like, oh, I want to do that, you know, and it's not just it's not about the adoration. It's not about like people knowing who you are. It's like, I get to play dress up. Like I get to pretend. And sometimes that's really fun. Like pretending to be some strung out hippie who turns into a vampire is really cool. Sometimes it's the crazy cat lady because you're like, I could never be that person, and it's fun to pretend. I don't know. Like my parents knew when I was growing up. Like I did all of that, like imaginary thing. Almost, I never had an imaginary friend, but I did a lot of those kind of play games. I was the only girl. I have 3 brothers. So I think that was kind of part of it. Like no one would play Barbies with me. So, you know, I'm going to make up my own Housewives of Illinois, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. It's like,
just out of curiosity, like if we're like northern, central, or southern Illinois.
It would have been a little more northern. It was around about of Aurora, LaSalle area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I grew up in central Illinois.
Rockford.
Okay, yeah. I grew up in central Illinois.
Okay.
So we go like Peoria County. I don't know if that, but yeah, it was
Peoria.
Kind of considered a suburb of Peoria, but not really.
I think we had to go down there for a school trip or something for one. I don't know, but
yeah, we drive past because we live in Wisconsin now. So every time we go down to visit family stuff, we drive past Rockford and all that. So I kind of know what you're talking about. But yeah, a lot of corn, a lot of soybeans, a lot of farm.
Not much. I miss that though. I miss being able to like see for miles.
That makes it so hot too.
does. I like it. Like today, it's like 70 degrees and rainy. I'm like, man, it's not summer weather. It's like fall weather.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's raining here a little bit ago, but that's Florida storms for you.
yeah.
Bipolar. It's sunny. It's raining. It's sunny. It can't make up.
Wait 5 minutes.
No. In Jurassic Park 2, you played a reporter type character. What'd I say?
I thought I heard Jurassic Park, but
I may have. I'm sorry.
I guess we're both crazy, Natalie. I don't know. We like dinosaurs. We got dinosaurs.
Maybe it's just, yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear that I was going to be.
You were Jurassic Park, yes. How was it working with Spielberg?
Awesome. So, yes, Jurassic Shark, I was a reporter. So it was like a Sunday late afternoon, and we're filming it. I was, all dressed reportery, and I see way back in the background, we're doing it at like one of our state parks, and there's someone getting their grad photos. And I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. Okay, back to the movie, blah, 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 blah. Shark! Ah! And it's nonsense. And I kept looking over, like when I wasn't on camera. I was like, oh my gosh, I work with that woman. That's her son. Oh man. I wonder if I'm too far away. She's not going to recognize him. Well, she came and found me Monday morning, and she was like, so how was your weekend? Fine. Why? She goes, what were you doing? Saw you. What were you doing? I was filming a movie. Really? What kind of movie? And like the whole teacher's lounge gets really quiet, and they're like, one of us filmed the movie. I was like, no. They're like scary shark movies, and there's aliens involved, and everybody got this look like, okay, never mind. We're gonna go back to our lunches. And then that movie came out, and I rushed to find her. I was like, Carla, remember when your son was graduating and you were taking photos, and then you saw me and I was doing this thing? And she was like, yeah. I was like, the movie came out. She's like, oh my gosh, you have to send it to me. Like, she's now invested because she saw it being filmed. Like, she was like, I want to know. I was like, okay, I'll send you a link. So
I was there. I want to see what's going on.
I'm not sure how old your students are, but have any of them recognized you from the films?
Hopefully not. They haven't said anything. I don't tell them I have an IMDb page. Like, I think Titus found it on the app just randomly, and he was like, I'm on IMDb. I was like, who's on IMDb? So we both sit there and we're like Googling our names. Like, how'd they get that? How'd they get that information? Like, oh my gosh, do they have a picture? I was like, no, I don't have a picture yet. But they have this. That's in production. What? I don't know who controls the internet or who controls IMDb, but they like knew we were married. At our anniversary. It was really weird.
They're stalking
I guess it is confirmed by chat. I did see Jurassic Park. Apparently, the new one's coming out, so I probably got it on my mind. I can't go see it, so I was like, Jurassic Park.
Maybe we're like, maybe that's gonna happen in the future. I don't know. I would not say no.
Yeah, even definitely not.
Dying. Especially if it meant dying by a dinosaur. Sign me up.
Right. Especially those, they look so realistic. And even the one in '93, I think I was fresh. I was either in junior high or freshman in high school. I don't remember, but I went and seen that movie like 3 times at the theater. It was just so great. I own them all now. But
oh yeah. And some of my students kind of make fun of that. I was like, no, you guys don't get it. Like, think about like all of our technology. I was like, those dinosaurs are amazing. And some of like the stop motion, Mark Polonia does some things with Brett Piper, and so I've done 2 movies with Brett, and he does a lot of stop motion too. And I'm like, this is so cool, guys! Like, this is technology and like green screen, and there's so many different ways that you can bring out these incredible animals or these makeup creatures. And they're like, I don't know, and I was like, nah, it's a little cooler than just your regular CGI. I mean, that stuff's amazing too, but there's art forms involved too.
Right.
They had I went to, I forget if it was the Science Museum for a field trip. And when Jurassic Park came out, they actually had a screen you could get in front of, and they took out, and it looked like you were getting attacked by the dinosaur either on the toilet or in the car. They had, I can't remember which scene, but it was one of the scenes with the T-Rexes. So we were like having fun. We spent like so much time wasted on that, goofing around and doing different things.
Right. And the teacher's like, and there's more to the museum. Nope, not as far as I'm concerned.
I'm in Jurassic Park. I'm good.
That sounds like I would be, you know, my son would
like,
be trying to like, come on, let's go. I'm like, no, I'm staying here.
Oh, you don't get it.
He's had to drag me away from things before.
Like, I'm in Jurassic Park. No, I'm not leaving. This is too fun. I'm assuming you've been on the Jurassic Park ride. Have you been to Universal when?
I haven't. No, I've never made it down to Florida in all my travels. I'm not well traveled within my own nation.
I'm pretty sure they have it in the California. Well, but you said you didn't travel either way. But...
I went as far west as Santa Fe.
Yeah, that was fun. I don't know where that picture is, but one girl in the class was freaking out in the picture, like screaming when the dinosaur came. It was such a funny picture. Oh no, that was Countdown to Extinction. That was a different ride. Never mind. But It was still funny though.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah, but the Jurassic Park one was good too. Let's see. Queen Fan said something. The CGI in the first film was amazing, even though nowadays it's still held up. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we gotta get the one before. What started your love of horror films? That's always been an interesting question because it's usually different from everyone. For everyone, if I can read, at least in my experience of asking the question, and that is true. It is usually different.
Started horror.
Yeah, what got your love started?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I actually don't like horror movies.
Okay, bye. Have a good night. We enjoyed talking.
I don't really enjoy watching them. The more newer ones. So like we watch a lot of Riff Tracks and Mystic, and those horror, like the older it is, the more I enjoy it. And having now been through a few, like thinking Bride of the Werewolf, with like the blood and the stuff, and I was actually feeling really nervous because I was supposed to get gutted and all this blood is supposed to come out, and I was like, I don't want that. Like that sounds really gross, and it tastes like dish soap, and I don't want the ew. All I could like taste was like Dawn or like palm olive or whatever. So like, but it's fun having that experience and then watching it and you're like, oh, well that's not so bad. I like scary movies, but I like the more psychological thriller ones, or as kind of goofy as it is, like Scream is still kind of one of my all-time favorite movies. Because I was like,
nothing wrong with that.
Like I love
Scream was great when it came out.
Right, like that fear, because you're like, oh my gosh, you can't hear me, and you keep going down the hallway. That stuff, I like that stuff. Some of the horror, it like the blood and guts, but I've done and seen some of the blood and guts, and you're like, oh, well, that's not so bad, I guess. So I don't know that I actually have a love for it. I will say, being a part of Polonia movies, it's neat to see the evolution, so to speak, like the beginning of Marx, and then we were just like watching Sharkula, and we're like, wow, like he's gotten so great. Like the storylines are a lot better, and the cast have really gotten bigger. Or would we watch Feeders 3? Which
I still gotta watch that.
Yeah. No, he wasn't in Feeders 2. We watched Feeders 2. I think we saw Feeders 1, but just like it's amazing to watch the progression and to see some of the earlier ones, the earlier aliens and earlier sharks and whatnot. That's been what I think keeps bringing me back, whether it's horror, whether it's sci-fi. Like, ooh, what are we going to do this time.
Especially when they intermix with each other, where it's like a sci-fi horror ones. Those are usually the really good ones. I like the comedy horror myself.
Yeah.
The really goofy ones, like the ones you're talking about that have like the riff tracks. I usually watch it without the riff tracks, but it's usually the ones that make it there.
It's just as good of a movie without the riffing. I mean, it is a totally different movie with the riffing. There was Virus Shark that we did in, I almost think it was 2020, which is really funny to think about. I don't know.
My husband actually asked me about that when I was watching.
So that was kind of like, I think the biggest example for me, like the crossover, like the horror and the sci-fi, and I really liked doing that. That makeup was really fun to do. Anthony Polonia did my makeup the first time we filmed, and then he wasn't there the next time. So we learned to take pictures of ourselves. So we're like, all right, this is what we did with our costumes, or this is, I mean, for me, what I did with like my jewelry, or how many rings I end up wearing. And so Titus was like trying to recreate it, and that one was really fun. And that's the closest I've ever come to playing a zombie. But I'm hopeful for more.
How long did it take to get all the makeup put on?
That time, that was a lot. There was a lot of latex involved. So it was almost a half hour, I think. I know Jeff Kirkendale goes through some more stuff. I think for Sharkula, he was involved with, like, because he had gills occasionally. There was a lot involved with his, but I don't think it takes over an hour.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated. Every time I see somebody that has, makeup on their face, even if it doesn't look a lot, I'm always like curious how long it takes, because you don't think if something's like, oh, that only probably takes like 5 minutes. You find out, no, it's like this big, system that gets put on. So I always like asking that about the makeup.
Like with the bruise wheel, like the scar I had, I don't remember which side of my mouth it was on, in Bride of the Werewolf. That one was really like annoying to put on, because you're like, okay, here it is. Oh, nope, that's brown. Okay, more bruise. Oh, nope, now that's green. Okay. And you're like, oh. And then once you had it, you're like, great, go with it. Go film.
In Virus Shark, you also had something that looked like a slime thing. Looks like somebody off camera like chucked it at you.
Oh, yeah. It was really easy. Yeah, that one was nasty. That was another picture I sent my mom, except I was like, you look disgusting. Thank you.
It almost looked like that goop slime that they used to have in the 25-cent machines to get out the little like balls of goop.
I couldn't even remember what it was. It's funny what shows up on set where you're like, what? Why? And you're like, oh, that's why. Okay. Some of it's really normal stuff, and some of it you're like, who raided your cupboard?
Excuse me. In Camp Murder, you get to run around in the woods before your death scene. Did that take a lot of takes?
No, it was a little tricky to go fast because it had rained, if I recall, and so we were I think up by Ken's house. Actually, he's got some great woods back there. And the nice thing about woods is they look different every time you can angle it. So it was really wet. There were a lot of stabby sticks. There were a lot of trees with just branches that had been broken off. I was like, I don't want to be stabbed for real. So it was more like, let's create a path without like creating a path, so you can run down this really fast. So it actually, like, there's a lot of prep work that goes into those things. And Mark is always really great about like, okay, we don't want anybody getting hurt. No, we don't want anybody getting hurt. So a lot goes into that. A lot of chase scenes up and down the stairwell. He's like, all right, nobody lose their footing. And I think Virus Shark at one point, like I had to like leap onto Titus, or I attacked somebody and he was supposed to throw me off. And I landed funny, and Mark like finished taking, he was like, okay, are you okay? I was like, no, like I was really proud of that. Like I aimed my foot and it landed there. And he was like, well, okay, but you're fine. I was like, I'm fine. Did you get it? Did you get the cake? Forget my foot. Come on.
Have you gotten
That was
hurt
awesome.
in any of the ones?
No, I've never gotten hurt in a Polonia movie. I did get slightly concussed for a show that I did on stage.
Oh no.
I had my hands
Stage
full
acting, Tim?
and hands full with the dress and did not see the stairs, and my face met the wall. And then I went on and I tried to sing, but I ended up crying because my head hurt. But it worked. It was only a dress rehearsal, but still. Everybody was like, wow, that was really moving. I was like, I don't want to go home.
Oh, ouch.
Tim was saying, our buddy Tim Hatch just messaged me. He said you were intense in Virus Shark.
In Virus Shark, that was fun. I think Virus Shark and Sharkula have been my two favorite roles. Those were fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Sharkula. I haven't got to see it yet. It looks really funny.
We watched it the other night. We were pretty excited.
I got to finish it. I watched it, of course, and then I started watching the commentary. I got halfway through, and then I ended up even talking to Kyle Rappaport Renfield a little bit about it, and I let him know I did my review. And so, yeah, he did a good job as Renfield. That was hilarious.
He did. That was my first time working with Kyle. I think Titus had done another show with him, but that was my first, and I was like, this is pretty good. Like it's because you don't see the rest of it. We only came up for our shoot, but then we're watching the whole thing. I was like, oh man, he plays him really well. Like nobody like Renfield. That's like the worst character in the whole. All the stories of.
I'm pretty sure that's his biggest role. I was mentioning that and everything, and I hope like he does more characters like that because he's actually, I mean, he pulled it off big time. On that like he really showed off what he can do. I was impressed.
Yeah.
Let's see, is that Tim?
You said have another comment.
Yeah, he said you were in Camp Murder with him too, with Kyle.
I didn't know that we had a scene together, did we?
Oh,
I can't remember how many Camp Murders there have actually been. I remember, I think it was the guy who played opposite of Tim. I'm blanking on his name. In Sharkula. He has very long hair and he has a very long beard. And I remember watching him in. I don't know if it was a Camp Blood.
You're talking about James Kelly.
Splatter Farm. Yes, it was a Splatter Farm, and I remember he was in it. And I think I don't remember when we watched it. Everything kind of blurs together. But I was really rooting for him. I was like, ah! And then I got to meet him on the set, and I was like, I rooted for you. I was like, this is so weird. It's like we both do movies, but I was like really excited to meet you. You're a person. Oh,
yeah. I guess his he doesn't like 4th of July anymore, probably. For those of you Splatter Farm, probably get the little firework joke, but yeah. Let me see. I think Tim was saying something else. I just lost it. Sorry. I accidentally exited out. I was looking at something.
Was that Minions on your cup? That's cute.
Yes.
Banana.
HIMMELBERGER loves the Minions. That was like the classroom theme, and for many years, and all the kids are like, "Why do you like Minions so much?" I don't know. They're cute little Cheeto things, and Minions. And they're like, "Doesn't that make you Gru?" Okay with that. I think Gru is awesome.
Yeah. You see, there's a new movie coming out.
Did.
I don't remember when, but it is supposed to come out.
Movies. I didn't really like the Minion movies as much. I was like, they're not Minions without Gru.
Nah, they're funny. I think they're funnier in the Despicable Me instead.
Yeah.
But maybe we could get.
Sorry.
Hobbs says this every week. How do we get Steven and Boom in a movie with you? We need to make this happen.
Maybe we do something like the alien surveillance and everybody's in a Zoom call, and then like all the Polonia monsters come out. Like somebody.
There we do. Yeah, do a Zoom one.
Somebody's going to be alien.
Send me some lines. I don't care. I'll audition. Read this. I don't care.
Yeah.
Polonia power. I want to be.
I have a hard time memorizing, but I do have a teleprompter app on my thing here, so I can set it right here. I got it set right in front of my computer. You can't even.
You can help out with a little bit of the.
No.
But I usually, when I used to do reviews, I would type everything out on here because I tend to repeat myself. So I would type everything else, and I would set the teleprompter up, and that way I could read everything on here. But I would write my own stuff. I wouldn't have anybody else do it. But. Did you say Tim sent you something else or no?
Oh, it was just something to me. Nothing, not a comment. Yeah. Kind of a little spoiler too, so I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, but also in Sharkula, the vampire fangs, were those yours? Did you buy them, or where did you pick those?
Yep, we bought those, and they came in. We looked all over for like the different reviews, and these seem to have the best ones, but there were like all these different sizes. So we bought two or three different sets. Because we're like, okay, well, once we find the right size, we don't know how many times we're going to need them. So that was kind of fun because I was like, if I'm going to do a vampire movie, I'm going to do it right. I want a fang. And I'm like, and I don't want to like do the whole like 80s, the things you used to wear like growing up when you trick or treated.
Yes,
like
the big one piece.
They're one piece, but you can see the plastic in between.
Yeah. Like, no, and with my luck, they'd be the glow in the dark kind. So,
so they actually
had vampires next.
Well, why not? They sparkle, so next time they'll glow, I guess.
He got like dropped in acid or something. And
Neon vampires. That could be a title.
Radioactive vampires. There we go, Mark.
There we go.
It's like, write it, Mark. We're giving you gold. Come on.
We have tons of. Queen says they want to be a dead body extra. They're very good at lying down. I feel you, Queen. I feel you.
Why not? The hardest part is like you have to hold your breath.
Yeah, you have to actually play dead.
I always want to make sure I'm a dead body with like my eyes closed. Otherwise, I'm like, oh, I can't move. And then my eyes start getting bigger. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to be the same size. So I be a dead body with my eyes closed, shallow breath.
Play dead.
Play dead, but really just don't die. Don't die.
Yeah. No deaths on the set.
Stay alive.
Have you had a favorite death scene in any of your movies?
Well, I know I wasn't really happy with Bride of the Werewolf. I felt like I could have died better. I'm trying to think. I don't die in all his movies.
No.
Titus dies in all of his movies, so he's got like a lot more death to work with. No, I don't think so. I remember the ones that I'm like, oh, I wish I could redo that one, but I really didn't want to put the fake blood in my mouth again. I was like, no, that's fine. I think we did it twice, and I was like, use the better of the two, whatever you want. It's his priority, right? Like he's the director, so he gets to choose.
Awesome.
If you could choose how you die in a movie, how would you like your death scene to go?
Poisoning might be kind of cool. See if we could do like.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Poisoning. I don't think I don't even have anybody die from poisoning. The whole like foaming and like the twitching.
I don't think so. Not that I haven't seen all the movies either. I'm just starting to get introduced to them, but I don't think so. Not that I can remember. But that foam stuff, if it's my friend, very first time I was on YouTube, my friend had a YouTube channel and I was on his channel and he did a lot of trauma stuff. So he would have this trauma opening and he had this, I think it was like an Alka-Seltzer, but it was like green stuff that came out. So I had to put it in my mouth, but we ended up not being able to do the take because I started gagging on it. Like it was like, eh. I was supposed to sit there and like act like I was dying with this green foam coming out of my mouth, but I was just like, as soon as it started, I just like, oh, so we had to cut that out. I couldn't be a part of it.
It's too bad.
But that was
actually
my
just
first
take
time
some
doing
green.
that.
That would probably work. Takes like some green food dye and then Alka-Seltzer and mix it up. And
Yeah, that was so long ago. I don't remember how it came green or anything, but I just remember it was so nasty. So hopefully if you get that, it's nothing like whatever that thing was.
I don't know. Fake blood's pretty nasty. I could do an Alka-Seltzer, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know if it was actually Alka-Seltzer. It just reminded me of it because I don't know of an Alka-Seltzer that comes out green. But yeah, I don't know
Really,
what
really
it was. I just know it was really gross.
Past its expiration date.
I don't know. It might have been.
that could have been it. That's why Have Cheetah Mobile said killed by donuts. I don't know if you ever see that movie Attack of the Killer Donuts.
No. Would I be like
That's a funny
rolled
one.
over by a donut or like pelted by donuts?
I haven't seen the movie.
Well, they were
so I
actually
have
had
no
some.
idea.
They actually had fangs in that movie. Like they had teeth. They were mutated donuts that were like biting people.
I don't want something to bite me, but I'd be okay if someone threw donuts and then
Do that like the tire.
They could roll over you, kind of like Rubber. Yeah, I was gonna say that movie Rubber.
Or getting run over by a giant donut. That wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, like go Attack of the Killer Tomatoes way.
It'd be really easy, and then you add all the sound effects of like the bones crunching and the splish and the
Right.
It'd be a really cool effect with like your head flat as a pancake.
Wow.
Marker Anthony
Like
did that. Just like
Right. Is that even though you say you don't really like horror movies, if you could be killed by one horror movie icon, who would you choose?
Oh, they all die really bad. I don't know why like Edward Scissorhands comes to mind, but he'd be really nice about it.
I will take it. Because I think he does end up killing somebody. If I remember, it's been a while. It wasn't on purpose, but he did kill somebody, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he did kill that boyfriend that was like an ass in it.
But not horror.
And it was, I think, wasn't it Anthony Michael Hall was the boyfriend in it in Edward Scissorhands.
Titus and I started Halloween. We started some of the horror movies because he's like, you have to educate yourself. I was like, okay. Let's see. As long as it's not like demon possession, I'd be up for probably whatever. I mean, make it memorable. I have to die.
He said, but he kill you with knives. It would be a slow death, though.
It would be. But that, and think of all the screen time you could get.
Yeah, true.
The different faces, the different takes. Actually, that sounds exhausting. Cancel that. What do you mean we have to do this again? Your eye wasn't twitching. Too dramatic. Never mind. Cancel that.
Sorry if you hear a lot of loud stuff going on. Somebody's shooting off fireworks. I don't know if my mic's picking up, so just apologizing ahead of time.
You're just talking about fireworks. We're talking about Jurassic Park, and then you said Jurassic Park. And simulation, Morty.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, let's talk about winning the lottery. How about that?
Oh, I could totally get into that. Except I don't play, so that would be hard.
True. Just don't answer no calls. It's like scam calls where they call, yeah, you won the sweepstakes or a lottery or whatever.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Tim said, let's see, when you get back film stuff, I was inspired by her and Titus during the Sharkula shoot. They had great energy.
Aw, that was a really fun. That was in Mark's face.
That
was weird.
That sounds a little. You were kept in the basement at Mark's house.
Well, and like I think I was kept in. Um, I've done this, like, I think I said it before, like, it's amazing what you can do with the different angles because watching that, I was like, but so and so, like, the stairs were like right there, and it doesn't even look like it's still all one place. And like, I after so many movies, like, I still enjoy looking forward to that. I was like, oh, that's how they put it together. Coming downstairs and then running around here and then turning this, and some of them are so tight to get the shot by. You're like, I have to angle it just so. And I think at some point Mark was trying to get an angle of, I don't know if it was Renfield on the floor, but it was, I was still like being, hung up or in whatever, in prison. And he was trying to get it. So you're like leaning and you find yourself in really awkward positions. You're like, I don't want to be in the shot. I don't want to be in the shot, but I can't help it. And it's like, oh, someone needs the camera. Like, this looks ridiculous. What are you doing? Filming a horror movie? No, you guys are playing like Weird Twister.
Left hand blue.
Movie. It's serious stuff.
Tied
While
up
you're chained up
twisters.
in
That's a
somebody's
new
basement.
adult version.
Sorry.
Oh, that's great. He was also in Frozen Squatch too. I did not. It just got added to Tubi, but I did not get a chance to watch it. But I've heard it's really great.
That we really had a lot of fun doing that. That was great. Our good friend Noyce Lawton was in that with us, and we had a lot of fun. Just like we reading through the script, we're like, oh, we really want to do this, Mark. We really want to do this, and just like, again, with the different angles he found, we were at like a ball field at one point. And like just walking around, I was like, this is the dugout. How are you going to make this look like something? And where were we? The Himalayas? It was so hot that day. Oh my gosh, it was so humid. I was like, you're not supposed to sweat when you walk through the Himalayas. I'm pretty sure. But we were.
I've heard that on sets how sometimes it's supposed to be cold and it's hot, or it's hot, it's supposed to be vice versa. Like, it's an interesting, you gotta act like you're in that atmosphere.
Yeah. Mark's like, you're gonna make a fire. We're like, no, we're not. Oh, it'll be fine. I'm like, oh gosh. It's the last thing I want to think about. We go in, and we were doing one shot. We were outside the lab at the Himalayas, and like we're all in our gear, and he's like, okay, so you're gonna do this, you're gonna go inside the door, and we'll like watch the door close, or we'll like finish the shot. And I was like, okay, great. So we're doing it, and we you always rehearse, so you know your steps, you go through. Okay, do it for live. Okay, we're gonna do it for real this time. Go through it. Great, do it. Okay, he's gonna get from the other angle. Bada bing, bada boom. We got the shot. Okay, so we go in. He's like, oh no, actually, and we had like just taken off all our stuff, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's air conditioning. It feels so good. We're so tired. He's like, actually, let's go do one more. We're like, yeah, you don't want to do it again. No. So sometimes I think he enjoys surgery.
Now I just realized I said it was just added to Tubi. I was thinking of House Squatch. I mixed it up with Frozen Squatch. Frozen Squatch has been on there longer, but yeah.
Yeah, Squatch is.
I had a little mixed up, but he was in Frozen Squatch. I just said the wrong movie.
One of the
I
Squatch
said the right movie, but
I don't think it was House Squatch. I think Titus was. Was he in House Squatch?
I think so.
He was in something where he dressed up
He
like
is.
a sheriff. Was that the House Squatch one? That might have been an April Showers one.
Yeah, he was. Oh, I bet the two women in it maybe there, because there were two women in it, Jamie Morgan
there were two women at the beginning. Yes, I think House Squatch was the one April Showers was supposed to be in. So because she wasn't in that, maybe she can be in the sequel or the threequel.
Threequel.
Well, and they always replace actors in the second one, or like, you know how in movies they'll replace certain people as that character, and sometimes it's funny, they might make a joke about it, and
yeah, like
I never really got into. I never watched them all, but I remember in Roseanne when they switched the one sister, and then she came back after they switched again. She's like, "Where the hell have you been?" Like they just joke with that.
And they make a joke about that in
whatever.
Georgia the Jungle as well. When the second one, because Brandon
Oh,
Fraser wasn't in the second one.
What was it? The line that says Brendan Fraser or they said some sort of joke. What was it about him being replaced?
I don't remember now. It's been so long ago, but I remember it was like a blatant line that you could tell. It's like, why does my husband look different or something to that effect? Or my husband's actually going and doing something because she was, married to the Georgia Jungle character.
Right.
They just had him gone for summer. I think that's when he took a acting leave for a little while.
Yeah, he was gone for a bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember the exact line, but it was like a dead giveaway that there's like, we know this is not Brandon Fraser, but we're pretending.
We're all going to acknowledge the elephant in the room, but we're not really going to acknowledge it. We're just going to keep going.
Oh, in Georgia the Jungle, there was an elephant in the room, though.
Nice. Oh, shoot. Oh, you get in the Frozen Squatch also, you have a fight scene with Jamie Morgan. Did that take a lot of time to get, especially with her being a wrestler? She's probably got like kind of.
So, yeah, I found that out like 5 minutes before she got there. I was like, oh, so like she does this for great. Like, I don't work out. Like, I'm a school teacher. Like, I don't even have to wrestle or wrangle kids. Like, I was like, I don't want to embarrass myself in front of her. She's so cool, and she like does this professionally. And then she was like super sweet, and she was like, "Let's try this. Let's try." And I was like, "You wrestle?" And then I was like, "Oh my gosh! Like she really does. Okay, scary woman." And then she was like super sweet afterwards. It was like, awesome. She actually made us some Virus Dark shirts. Like she's just Jamie Morgan is awesome. Like anytime I find out she's in the movie, I was like, oh, I hope I have a scene with her because she's just fun and like she brings some really good energy and she always has a bag of like candy. I don't know where all this candy comes from, but she was just like she'll just be like digging through to find something and then it's like candy. He always has it, and it's like not just Tootsie Rolls, like it's everything. Like that is why we ought to have Jamie Morgan in more movies because she brings.
Yeah, we had her on.
She just brings the candy on the set.
Yeah, she seems great. Yeah, we made an extra effort because she didn't know about the StreamYard thing, so I had to call her on my Facebook and like screen share just to be able to have her on. So it kind of caused a little bit of an echo, but it was like we really want her on, so we like
with it. She's so great. She's game for everything and anything. Yeah. And like whenever we were doing it was probably Virus Shark or it might have been Frozen Sasquatch where we were like, all right, we have to do this. It's a hard part. And she was kind of slipping up and then I was slipping up and then it's like, okay, you know what? Like, and she was like, you got this. Like, she's super encouraging. And she was like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, I love you so much. I don't even know who you are. Like, I think that was the first time I met her when I was like, all right, we're going to wrestle now. And she had like fingernails and then she was in costume. And I was like, oh, crap. Like, she's very looking for the role and she's a wrestler. And then she's just like, okay, hold your feet like this. And then when I do that, and that I love doing stuff like that. When you can learn something, you're like, okay, this is to learn how to fall or to learn how to do this. That's what's great for me too. Like that's half the fun. You're dressing up, pretending to be someone else, but then here's a cool trick you can do later. So.
Yeah, she seems like she would have a lot of knowledge, especially with your wrestling background. She's a great person to learn that.
Yeah, she had some pretty cool shots because she was doing actually most of the like heavy lifting, so to speak. Like, and she was the one who had to fall, tuck and roll. I think I kind of was able to I think my character was able to hold her off for the most part. But when she goes down, like she's the one who has to do that carefully.
Nice.
So you wanted to ever try to do your own stunts or practice in the future, or nah? You're not.
I would love to try some of that stuff. I don't know what we were shooting. We were actually shooting behind my house a couple of years ago, and we were joking about we were like running around hiding from the aliens or something. And I was like, "Oh, we can climb a tree. This is a perfect little tree right here," and shimmied right up. And then Mark was like, "Please don't fall out of the tree." It was like, "No, that's the whole point." And then we can do this. And he was like, "No, don't get hurt on set. Please don't get hurt." I'm like, "It's my property. It's my tree."
What am I going to do? Sue myself?
With a little. No, that would be awesome to do your own stunt.
Yeah, it sounds like everybody in the Polonia films, there's like all their yards and houses are like up for grabs for filming.
And houses.
I think we had a great replacement. I think it was 2020 or 2021. They were still working on it. So there was this giant hole right in our driveway, and it was like, well, there was supposed to be a giant bridge there, but it's not. Mark's like, "Can I film there?" We're like, absolutely. Looks like Mars. Come on and use it. There's nothing there except for rebar. So
that is awesome.
I think we brought this up before on one of the shows. Like, I don't remember whose car it was, but that Kia is always it. Like Jurassic Park 2,
the green Kia.
The green Kia is always a
smart.
It needs its own IMDb by now,
right? The little green Kia. There's a white Lincoln occasionally, which is Titus's. What else is there? Sometimes there's a Jeep. Sometimes there's whose Jeep do we use? Sometimes people just they're more comfortable using their own. Real Monsters, a friend of ours we let us use his, I don't speak car, it was the burgundy car. Maybe someone out there will be able to tell me what it was. But a friend of ours used it and then got really concerned because there was like this chase scene. We're like, no, they didn't drive it that fast because it was, I think, a bit of a classic car, but not like super classic. It was his baby, He was like, I didn't know you guys were gonna be maniacs. It was like, we weren't. It's movie magic.
Yeah. I know one of the films, I forget which one it was, but there was a tracker in it. It's kind of like an SUV truck, but small. And I was like, I have one. I was like, oh, look, it's just like my truck. Different color, but it's like I miss mine. Mine's been broke down in the garage for like a year. I was like, I miss my truck. I can't remember what movie it was, but it had a red tracker in it. I was like, hey, my truck.
Go back and rewatch. It's for the cars.
Hey, especially
I guess now when I go back, I'll have to be like, which movie has a truck in it now?
I call it a truck, but it's an SUV, but I've always called it a truck, but it's like a small SUV. Like there used to be called a Geo something or other. Oh shit! What Geo Tracker? Mm-hmm. And what else was it called? Before that, it was a Suzuki Sidekick. Suzuki Sidekick was also his name, but now it's a Chevy Tracker.
It's like a Polonia movie. It goes through different names.
It's a Polonia movie.
So it could be in the next movie. There we go. I got a question. So you said you had a funny story at the grocery store. Were you recognized, or what was that about?
That was really weird. Yeah, I did want to. I was thinking that in the back of my head. I was like, I wonder when that would be a good time to bring it up. My younger brother, the one who I scared away with our vampire makeup and tattoos, works at a bank, and he has some work friends. And finally, one of the guys, they were talking, and he was talking about one of his favorite movies, and it was a Polonia movie. And Jacob's like, that's so weird. Like, my sister does some of those Polonia movies. He goes, wait. Oh my God. And he finally put like my maiden name, Halid, and his name together. And he was like, that's your sister? Oh my, does she know Titus? Do they know Mom? And he was like, this man is like in his 50s and was like fangirling. And Jacob's like, I don't know
Titus. Yeah, she knows Titus a little bit.
And Titus was in so much more. And he was like, oh my gosh. So Jacob told me about this, and I was like, okay, well, you work with weird people, but whatever. Because it's such a small town, but you don't really like know everybody. There's just like 3,200 people here. I don't know them all.
Right, yeah.
He found me in the grocery store, like not purposely. He wasn't like looking for me. I'm picking out tomatoes, and then like he's picking out tomatoes, and then he like just stopped. And when someone's like looking at you, and you're kind of like, "Hey, we're both just shopping. Are you Natalie Himmelberger?" Yes, I am. I'm sorry. Do I know you? Work with your brother. Okay. You're in Polonia movies. Yep, and I'm going to leave right now. I'm sorry, sir. Like you need to like put a longer sentence together. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. You working on one right now? Nope. Grocery shopping.
So yeah, Mark is in an aisle
Yeah,
over there.
it's about this
getaway.
that,
Where's the camera? But it was so funny because it was like I tell people, it's like, yeah, there's like a movie producer, or not producer, but a director in our town. And people are like, what? I was like, yeah, Mark Polonia. And a lot of people don't even know who that is. And so it was just really weird because like I tell people all the time, like, oh, he just lives up the street. He actually lives up the street from my brother, which is funny enough. So Jacob will be walking the dog and he's like, oh, Mark's filming a movie again. He sees all these characters. Easily random shark head sticking out of the front yard. So yeah, there you go. Like he doesn't have a random shark head. Like that's normal, right?
Yeah, it's totally normal.
I mean, I don't, but I'm working on it.
No, I don't have one.
The shark head one. I was so excited. I love it when Mark lets me be the puppets. Like it didn't work out when I was with the alien because that had collapsed. But like when I get to use the props and the characters, I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. So he let me be the shark. It was just the fin. It wasn't even the head. But he was like, just thrash about. Like, that's so cool. Did you get my arm? Can I do it again? He's like, okay.
That would be me. I'm like so shark obsessed. I have anything and everything you could think of that has sharks on it, like my big shark head.
I aspire to one day be in the shark cage while they're swimming. I don't want them to be feeding them because then I'll probably die. But if they're just swimming around me and I can cling to dear life on the other side of the cage, that would be awesome.
I would absolutely. That was my dream for the longest time to be able to do that. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're crazy," but I was like, "No, I would totally do it." Like all those aquariums where they have pet tanks or whatever. I've petted like. That's what I was talking about. My son having to drag me away from things. He'd drag me away from those pet tanks, but I would be always like petting. I've probably pet like 5 different types of sharks out of that. I would totally get in a tank with one, especially the shark cage.
I have to like pull you out of the tank.
My husband's like, I don't know about you. Hey, Queen fan, have you seen House Shark? I don't want to. This is absolutely atrocity. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's talking about House Shark. I have seen House Shark. I absolutely love it. I love it for its comedy.
Oh, I know that one.
Oh, it's hilarious. But you got to kind of like stupid movies too, because obviously it's a shark in a house. But this one guy plays Abraham, like the whale. Thing and yes, they got the fake water in the house and everything. You gotta like really stupid comedy to like this movie. But yeah,
that sounds wonderful.
It's so
bad. Also
bad
CGI sharks. I will plug this movie every time. Bad CGI sharks. They made the sharks bad on purpose, and their budget was like under $7,000. And this movie is freaking hilarious. But they're like making fun of like the shark movies type things.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, those guys are great.
All of the Sharknadoes. Like once I started watching that, I think Titus he was out of the house, and I found it on, Pluto or Amazon or something. And I was like, this looks great. I stopped grading papers, and I had like a stack. Like, this is more important. And then I found out there's more.
I used to like every time the new one would be coming out, it's like there is nothing going on this day. I would make snacks. I even have pictures somewhere of cupcakes I made that had little shark fins on it. They weren't standing up; they were flat because I couldn't figure out the time to make them stand up. But I had little shark cupcakes with the fins on it. We'd had a whole thing on.
Well, and the best part with a new movie coming out is you have to watch all the others before it.
Oh yeah. Refresh your memory.
Queen Fan 5 was saying about the shark movies. I guess he said all it's missing is Nicolas Cage. Well, I guess instead of not the bees, it could be not the sharks, not the sharks.
There's never enough Sharknado films. 100% agree. Unfortunately, we'll not get any more 7 or 6. I want to say 7, but there's 6 of them.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
Some reason I keep thinking there's 7 too. Maybe they're just going to make a 7.
I wish, but yeah.
Be like the fireworks.
Yeah.
Out there, start saying it.
Yeah, I would love to be another one, but I don't think there is. I'm pretty sure 6 was the last one. Because they brought everything
about
together.
Time.
Yeah.
But and again, sometimes the final ones are never the final ones. So I mean, Friday the 13th, final chapter.
Yeah, well, that one's like a reboot type thing. So I don't know how well that really counts because it's not part of the same franchise. It's trying to make its own, even though it didn't start one. They tried.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't horrible, but still, not very many people liked it.
Nah. It got better
once ones out there.
It's like once Jason Lives came up after that, then it picked up again. Any other funny stories on set or anything that you can recall you want to share? Or?
Okay, that was the ones I was thinking of. We actually did a couple that I hadn't remembered. Like, oh yeah.
Oh.
Nice.
That's always fun. Hey, Bones.
What's that?
Somebody in the chat, he was saying hi to Bones. Mr. Bones says, yo.
Yo. Yo.
Yo. Just say hi.
So yeah, even ones you didn't even remember. Yeah, that's good.
Funny stories, I guess. Hopefully there'll be a few more. I think we have one scheduled. We're going to start filming again. Kind of took a hiatus.
You have a funny story scheduled? Okay. We'll schedule that funny story for next week.
Yeah, I'll start writing them down and be like, that's another one.
Blooper reel. Blooper time.
We have them occasionally from shoots into town. Like I remember the pictures I told you I sent to my mom. I was like, I'm not going to go into the store with this, but I think on other sets they have. Like they were, I don't think it was like as bad as like Splatter Farm or something. But I think going back to like Queen Crab days is what I've heard from some of the guys is they're like, oh yeah, like we were in costume and like had dried blood all over us and we just went to McDonald's and nobody said anything. Well, like I understand where we are in the county, but someone should see.
I would think, especially if they go into like a restaurant or something, because I worked in fast food for like years. And one night it was like a whole like van of people that dressed up, what are they called? Where they dress up as famous people. I forget what they're called.
The reenactors. Yeah.
Yeah, the reenactors. We had Elvis, James, Dean, Rod's, oh shit. Shit, I can't think of his name. He's a singer. Oh,
who you're talking about, but I can't think of his name either.
I can't think of his last name. But then I forget who else. I think Elvis was there. It was like all come into this fast food place.
Well, you were saying Rod Stewart?
Hi.
Yeah, is that who you were talking about, Rod Stewart?
Yeah, I think it was Rod Stewart. But yeah, there was just like a bunch of them. I was just like, oh, hi there. What are you all in for? half of y'all dead.
That's why there's all these Elvis sightings.
My other brother worked at a fast food, like one of those travel lodges or whatever, and like there's the gas station and whatnot. And he had a group of, I think they're called LARPers come in.
Live action role play. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like he had heard like there was a group in the area, and he was like, but I didn't know how to join, and like here they are, and he was too nervous to ask to join. He was like, he just was like, here's your menu. And he's like,
I want to join your guild.
It was awesome. And I was like, oh, you missed this opportunity.
You just have to start playing a role in front of them.
Right? He was like, I was in my
just go right into a character and start.
Like 8:00 in the morning. He was like, I don't know. I think they were like just finishing, like coming out of the woods. He was like, kind of smelled like woods. I don't know how long they've been in there, but they were hungry. Like, well, that was your job at the time. Like, you fed them, and that was good.
Oh shoot!
This
Yeah,
is
the only one I remember is like the group of them. But my hometown, there was a different Elvis impersonator that would like go around all over the place. He really looked like Elvis too.
Elvis or old Elvis?
Vegas Elvis.
Yeah, Vegas Elvis. Like,
Vegas
I was trying to think because he wasn't overweight, but yeah, he was like in between. He wasn't super young, but yeah, he was like a Vegas Elvis.
Yeah, I get it.
Like,
And he was from a rural central Illinois town, but you'd see him all over the place.
Like that'd be funny. Just 3 or 4 of them came in each stage of Elvis.
Right? You know, sat there.
So yeah, never know. You could live in a small town Illinois and you get a bunch of people.
Small town USA. You never know who's going to show up.
Right.
There was a guy who, even when he was out of costume, he would like go to schools as Abraham Lincoln, and like I saw him before, like at Walgreens, and he still like, I mean, he didn't have like the hat, you know, but his face, like he looked like Abraham Lincoln, like even in the normal, just going out. It's like, okay, reincarnated or something there. So.
I always thought my dad kind of resembled him, but he don't have like a beard or goatee or anything. But I always thought he somewhat resembled him, and his birthday is like on the same day as Abraham.
I mean, have you heard of all that stuff in history, all that weird stuff about, I forget which president was, but the same 100 years from Kennedy, 100 years, they both had the same vice president.
JFK and Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, it was Abraham. Okay, yeah.
They were both shot by men with 3 names.
And then shot in the theater in Ford or whatever, like the name of the theater.
Ford, yeah, I love that part. Like I studied history, and that was actually in my master's. Was looking at history and education. I was like, this is so cool. Like I love those conspiracy theories.
And what was it? Their wives' name? Like I forget. I saw like on TikTok how the person was going through all the same like coincidence.
There's so many coincidences just between those two, and you're like, there's something going on here. It looks like a simulation or something. You can't. And that's a big one, but there's hundreds of them out there.
Like, oh yeah, there's.
My husband said Mandela effect, but I think that's a little bit different.
That's different.
Yeah.
That would be a great horror movie, like not like to kill a president, but like focus.
Right.
I swear, like the whole Mandela effect thing, like there's one that I looked and I don't remember, like I remember it one way, the Karate Kid, the color of the bandana, like some remember as red or black. It's black. It's not red.
Or
vice versa. I can't remember which it was, but
the nautical and all that.
Yeah, that one.
The Berenstein Bears.
Yeah.
Don't like those because it makes me question my memories of my childhood. So.
Yeah, and the Shazam was Shaq, or not Shaq.
Yeah, Shaq was in it.
No, the one that's not real.
That one's real.
Oh shit, Sinbad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. I want to say it was Shazam, but it might have been called something else. But it was like a wizard genie type movie, but it had Sinbad. I remember owning that on VHS, but
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah. It never
Sinbad
existed.
himself said he was never in the movie, but
What?
I remember that movie. It was so much better than Shaq's because Shaq had one.
I think it was called Shazam. It was the first, like it was before.
Yeah, there was Shaq had one and Sinbad had one, and their covers were almost the same.
Right.
They were almost like
Shaq's wasn't as good, but Simba.
And they probably came out roughly around the same time. So
I think it did. And they came out about the same time. Their covers looked about the same, but Sinbad's was better. But yeah, he even said that he's never made that movie. But I remember it on VHS.
I remember. I rented it from a video store when I was a kid. I swear that movie existed.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, I swear to God it did, but nope.
Are you sure?
Maybe they did a trailer. Maybe they did like a trailer and it was
no. It was a full movie.
Weird. How can more than one person remember that?
I don't know, but a lot of Kazam. That's right. Somebody in the chat got it. It was called Shaq's was Kazam, and I think Shazam was
Sinbad. Was Shazam. Yeah,
makes sense.
But
that makes sense.
Because like Sinbad, Shazam, it was. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
that.
But yeah,
crazy. It makes sense.
But Shaq's is real, but Sinbad's isn't.
It isn't real. I don't remember that. I swear it's real.
I swear to God it was.
You've ruined my life now. You've ruined my life.
Yeah, I remember it very well. I remember owning it, but it never happened.
Okay, that's some weird stuff going on now.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But yeah, Queen Fan with the save. It was called Kazam.
Yeah. Queen Fan, do you remember Shazam? Please tell us we're not the only ones that remember a fake movie.
But yeah, I've watched some of those Mandela effect videos where they go over things that people remember that didn't happen, like what's named over. Mandela, like a lot of people remember him dying in, I want to say it was like the 80s or something, but I guess he died later. I don't really remember that one, so I can't really say, but yeah, I remember the Shaq one, but no. But yeah, the Monopoly man with the monocle, that's not a thing. The Bernstein Bears and
oh my gosh, I'm gonna go crazy now.
But people remember him with the monocle, but no.
Even in Ace Ventura, when Nature Calls, he took that guy.
Yeah,
he's like,
they didn't even reference it in movies and stuff, but no.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm questioning existence now.
I know. That's why I kind of had to get into it, because then you're like, wait, what do I know? Do I know anything?
Right. Am I here? Are we? I don't know. Are we doing this show right now?
Don't even know. I'm in a room talking to my phone, and there's other faces there. So who knows?
It's like I've seen those things like that on TikTok. They'll have like a glitch in the Matrix, and it shows weird stuff that people film. That it's like, what the hell? How?
Yeah. Queen Fan remembers it as well. So I could have sworn there was one with Sinbad. I think I remember him wearing a suit, something with purple times or patterns on it. Things, not times. Yeah, he was wearing like a purple.
He was wearing purple.
Outfit.
Yeah, he wore purple. Yeah. And then
but Shaq was wearing purple too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've tried. It's like, oh, you're just remembering Kazam, but no, there was two different movies. But nope. Everybody remembers, or not everybody. It was like probably about 50-50.
Enough people remember something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I wish it would have happened, because I remember that movie being so much better than the one with Shaq.
Queen Fan said, holy shit, this is weird.
Yes. Yes, it is very weird.
I guess we're gonna do our whole. It's like next time, Natalie, when you come on, we'll do another like we did with Steve. Sorry to say Radinsky. No, Rimpeachy. We did a paranormal show before. We talked all about paranormal stuff. So, yeah,
I could brush up on my Mandela effect information, because there's only a few I remember off the top of my head, and the one that messes with my head the most is that Genie movie with Sinbad.
Now that one does. I'm gonna be pondering that all night now.
That'll be like the number one thing on search engines tomorrow morning.
Thanks to the House of Horrors, those bastards made me
like driving all back to surface.
Right.
Just ripped off that. We just ripped off that Band-Aid, and now everyone's going to check their collection. I swear I have that movie.
I know. I wish I knew where all my old VHS movies were, where I could look through them, but I have no idea if I even have all of them anymore. But I know they're not at this house if they do exist. But yeah, I remember owning it, but nope. Yeah, just like everyone thought Looney Tunes was spelled Looney. Latoons is spelled differently. Everybody thought Looney Tunes was LOONEYTUNES, but it's actually spelled LOOENY and then TOONS.
I remember Looney Tunes with the TUNE. Looney Tunes.
Yeah. And there's supposed to be one with like Tinkerbell too in the Disney thing. I guess she didn't always like go around the castle with her wand. But
no, I remember that she didn't go around the castle. Like it was just like the beam of light.
Yeah, some people remember her like going around and like her wand did the.
Oh, you know what? There's like a differences between like the Disney classics and the Disney masterpieces. So if you look on some of the VHS tapes, like not like the cardboard box, but like the old plastic ones, that if they break a little bit, they'll slice you open.
The clamshell ones, yeah.
If you look on the side, they'll say whether they are classic or masterpieces. And I betcha the difference is there with Tinkerbell.
Yeah, that's possible.
The classics will just do a beam over, and the masterpiece, she might swirl it.
Yeah, it's possible. Oh, apparently I read their thing. Yeah, I read their comment wrong. It is spelled TUNES. So I guess some people remember it with the tunes TOON. Yeah, so I read that wrong. I read it backwards.
Well, wait, let me think. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to question my sanity anymore. I'm already
you can go down such a rabbit hole.
Right. It'd probably be easier just to pop that comment on the screen since I've done fucked it up.
Aw. Everybody go home and do the link. That's the takeaway.
Yeah, go research Mandela effect stuff. I have a lot of stuff to go over.
And then don't sleep.
If you ever want to sleep again and not question your sanity,
right? You'll never know what will be different when you wake up tomorrow.
Everything has changed. Mind blown.
Right.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I think that was my fault. I think I brought that up.
It's what you learn here on the House of Horrors.
Right?
True horrors. So.
I'm full of weird facts.
I love that. I love weird facts.
So, but yeah, that Mandela stuff really messes with your mind, especially if you remember it one way and it's not.
You'll sit there arguing with people and you're like, here's my Monopoly game. And you're like, no, that's not even a real Monopoly. It is.
And what's weird is like, what you remember, it never existed. So if you find like an old Monopoly game from like God knows when, like the first Monopoly game or whatever,
right,
and you find out it's not way that you remember, it's like, how did that change?
That is pretty interesting what it can and does to us.
Right.
It's like I'm going to go on Amazon and eBay and look at all these old stores and try to find Shazam with Sinbad because I know it exists.
All those top stores are going to be like, oh my gosh, another one.
Another Shazam.
You start wearing t-shirts. We this movie.
Shazam is real.
Hashtag Shazam is real.
That's the new hashtag. We're going to start that tonight. Go to Twitter, hashtag Shazam is real.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's another one where he's talking about Queen and let's see if I read this one correctly, and how literally everyone thinks we are the champions ends with of the world with world being drawn out, but in reality it ends with just Brian May holding a guitar note as it fades out.
Oh,
so that's another one too.
I didn't know that. I'll have
I thought he said of the world. I could the hornets of the world.
So instead of him saying it, it's just the guitar sound.
That's what they're saying. I remember there was something
We
about
are
that
the
one bit.
champions, and then it's some guitar.
Yeah, but it's been so long since I've
Like
listened to it, but I do remember that one.
The Queen, but yeah.
I started to say, well, how would he know? Queen fan 5. No, I knew that. I was just messing around.
Yeah, there's some pretty messed up things.
I didn't know I could do that. Cool.
Yeah, you should be able to.
After an hour and 40 minutes, I found the cat.
Yeah, like I'll scroll back up now.
I think we covered most of them.
Yeah, we read
most of the chats. There was some we didn't, but they was just like talking amongst themselves or just saying hi.
Yeah, whatever they. Yeah. Any fun or interesting facts or talents or anything we might not know about you that you'd like to share?
Well,
or hobbies or anything, whatever you like.
I can knit. I like to make cheesecake.
Nice.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. It's like every new. I try not to repeat the same recipe twice. I'm like always looking for a new cheesecake recipe. My next one is supposed to be red velvet, but then we had a hard time finding Philadelphia cream cheese, so we're gonna postpone that one. I've studied 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 different languages, and can converse in about, other than English, maybe 2. So I have English. I've studied Thai, French, Russian, and Swahili.
No, nice.
Would love to do an accent in one of Mark's shows.
That would be awesome.
I want to do that. That Russian, I can do that. Oh, that's Russian. Sorry, or unless I counted Russian, I don't remember.
Yeah,
5 or 6, one.
That's my goal. Be a zombie, do another vampire movie, and be a villainess. I really want to be the villainess. I'm like, keep talking. I was like, come on, Mark. Like, Jeff Kirkendale is a great villain, and I'm sure he's had others, but I'm kind of mad. Like, Jeff Kirkendale just sticks out in my head. Like, we need someone else.
Yeah,
I volunteer as tribute. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that would be great.
So maybe keep putting that bug in his ear.
Yeah, and you can even use one of your accents too.
Yeah. We'll get Jamie Morgan in.
Mm-hmm.
Be a pretty badass movie.
Yeah.
Queen fan wanted to know Irish.
Do I know Irish? Like,
or maybe he means do an Irish accent. Maybe
not a very good one. I sound like a leprechaun. Well, like, we got the charms. Like, no, I don't want to embarrass myself. Especially since I love that accent so much. I was like, I can't do that justice at all.
I was in an Irish play in high school, Playboy of the Western World, but I don't know how my accent would be now, but it would be.
My eldest brother, God bless him, he always tries to like do an accent, but it's always coming out as like an Australian who lives in Brooklyn, who's also got like a Southern twang. And we're like, what are you doing? And even his wife will look at him and go, what is that? He's like, I am Irish. And we're all like, stop trying.
Let me see. Let's see if I can go back. I don't think me Irish is that good. There we go. It's been a while.
It's all about the vowels.
Look at him scalping her. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, it's never mind. But I mean, if I practice a little bit, I'm sure I can bring it back up because we even had like different language, like how to pronounce words, how to, like when to drop letters and when to add certain. Right. Yeah.
Well, it's funny how some people pronounce their different vowel sounds, and even just the difference between an Aussie and a Kiwi. And the way they'll say the same words, and you're like, you guys are like in the same kind of area of the world, but then you have like your thick Louisiana Creole accent, and then you have like your Kentucky drawl, and then the North Carolina is something totally different. I love it. I love it.
Or we have the Illinois redneck, because my husband makes fun of stuff I say.
Oh, living in Michigan for so long, everyone talks through their nose. Like everything is really nasally in Michigan.
Wisconsin too.
And I had this roommate who would insist, like, "Oh, that's nasty. It's nasty." I'm like, the way you say nasty is nasty.
Nasty.
I swear to God, like half of the people in Wisconsin sound like they're from Canada.
Yeah, don't you know up there in the Ubers?
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm not your buddy, pal. Well, I'm not your pal, buddy.
Yeah, one time, I forget where we were, but me and my son was somewhere, and somebody's like, "I love your accent." I was like, "My accent?"
No, I have a friend from Southern Illinois, and it's like she's got a little bit of a drawl, and I'm like, I grew up with you. What happened to you? You didn't like that's not how you talk. And she's like, it is. And I was like, I've never really thought of like Southern Illinois is like I get it. It's a South, but it's not the South.
Right. And that's why I think a lot of mine come from, because some of my family is like dead set redneck.
Yeah. People from Missouri. And I was like, that's the Midwest. What are you?
But yeah, there was like we have a family reunion that's on my mom's side. I won't say their names, obviously, but it's like we go to there. It's a really small town in central Illinois that's just out in the boonies, and it basically farm everywhere. But it's an actual town. You go to this reunion, and literally, it's old, kind of oldish men, red hair, beards, in
suspenders.
I want to say stirrups, but overalls.
Oh,
as far as you can see, it's like the whole family is just redheaded in overalls.
I love the Philly accent too. Like people from Philly, they'll like certain ahs and stuff. Like it reminds me of Boston some way. Like my great uncle, he'll Carol, and I'm like Carol. Who are you talking to?
Trying to think of some of the words he last sent me about. Toilet is one of them, because I said toilet. I don't hear the badness to it, but they make fun of me for it. What's another one? I can't say weapon.
Bagel. I had a friend from Oregon who said bagel. I'm like, it's a bagel. And she was like, melt, and big, and big.
Trying to think. I know there's toilet and weapons I have trouble with. I'm trying to think. There's another word, but I can't think what it is that they make fun of me about. Oh, granite. I always say granite. I like take for granted, but it sounds like I'm saying the rock.
Granted, and then it's granite the rock. Downstate here in Pennsylvania, people say wash, like you're gonna wash the car. Nope.
Yeah,
wash it good now. Wash it
good. Water. You're gonna wash with water.
Wash the winders.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wash no winders.
Oh, potato. I see. I was trying to think because he said potato. I was like, how do I say potato? But then I remember I say potato. No, I say puh. No, I do not say potato. I say potato.
Potato.
Oh, my extended family, they'll cheat yet instead of did you eat yet? Cheat yet?
And I think, and when they make fun of me of that one, I just say taters.
Taters.
They make fun of me for that.
Are you Ron Tater Salad? Blue Collar Comedy Tour. I don't know if you remember Ron White when there's that whole story. He's like, colleagues are like, "Are you Ron Tater Salad?" Anyway, yeah, I get it's funnier if you see it. But anyway, we got someone that came in. Let's see, it's Emulator Retro. saying a whole bunch of something about the Mandela effect, saying that one theory about the basis of the Mandela effect originates from quantum physics and relates to the idea that rather than one timeline of events, it is possible that the alternate realities of universes are taking place and mixing with our timeline.
Yes, I totally believe that could happen.
And then
just having a conversation today, and it was one of those things where like something happened and then something else happened, and you're like, this can't be like it's got to be a simulation. And there's
and then also in theory this would result in groups of people having the same memories because the timeline has been altered as we shift between these different realities.
Yep, there's a real Doctor Who flying around here somewhere. I'm telling you, it's real.
He would agree with that because, yeah, because you can hear him in the background giggling. That's my husband.
That put the pencil cup. I have a little Lego Dalek. I have a little bobblehead who
exterminate.
He has his own little garbage over by his desk over there that says exterminate when you hit it.
I mutter that under my breath when my students are annoying me. I'm like, you will be deleted.
Exterminate.
Queen Fan.
The bad grades. Exterminate.
Queen Fan, do you call soda pop as most Michigans do? I'm assuming this is directed to me. I call it sody.
Oh, sody? Sody?
I call it sody. I do not say pop. I say sody.
My friend from upstate New York, she insists pop is that's the sound it makes, so it has to be soda. But my gran is from the South, and everything is Coke. It's very annoying because I'm like, I don't want a Coke. She's like, but I got different kinds of Coke. I'm like, well,
it's a Pepsi Coke.
It's Coke. It's an orange Coke. It's a Sprite Coke. Oh my gosh! It says its name. Right. I love you.
Yeah, I sometimes mix Pepsi and Coke together and have myself a Poke. Or you could put Sprite in it and Sproke. Don't choke on the Sproke. Well, I do mix sodas. I mean, if you mix sodas together, it's a suicide. So, I mean, I was
gonna say, that's what we call them.
So, but if it's just two and not all of them, then it's
the main combo. I guess.
But yeah, I always used to do that, or I would like ask for that, like when I went to Sunny's and stuff, and they kind of look at me weird. And then after a while, they were like, you want a suicide?" I'm like, "Yes." And they would start like suicide. I'm like, "Yeah." And then I go and bring some lemons out too, and I put like some lemon in it too. It's really good. I mix everything but diet, just
all the sugar and all the caffeine.
Just don't put any of the diet in there.
Yes, I'll give it the aftertaste. Yuck.
It would really be a suicide with the diet. It'd be a diet suicide. A die suicide would die. Queen Fan says, I will always be convinced that it is spelled bears seen bears and not okay. So BERN.
Pop it on the screen.
Yeah, actually I'll do that.
You pop it on the screen, that way you can see it. And that way you don't read it wrong.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. There we go. So.
But yeah, everybody remembers it's spelled one way and not the other.
I remember it as Stein also. Or
I agree with Queen Fan 05. It will. It's just better.
Yeah. Yeah, those are just messed up. They just get you thinking, and once you go down that track, you find more that you don't know about. I was like, oh my god.
Can I ask someone in the chat a question?
Sure.
Queen Bee 05, Queen Fan. You said your whole family was Irish and Gaelic. Are you from Ireland? Like, do we have international people?
I know when I put this on, while we're waiting for them to answer, when I edit this and I put it on Spotify, we have, let me pull it up so I don't say it wrong.
There actually was someone last week that came in. I forget if they did say they were from Ireland. They were from somewhere, and it was like 3 a.m. Like it was like really behind, and they had come across here.
Right. Oh, I just like it's neat if it is going all the way overseas. Like I mean,
yeah, but we've had some people from England or UK. So yeah, I mean we've had different.
Mark has mentioned like some fans from I think Germany. Like he's got quite the following in Germany and some of the other more Scandinavian countries that way.
I'm glitching out. I'm part of the Matrix. I don't know if you saw me glitching out.
I saw a little bit of this in there.
Oh my!
But yeah, we've had a few international people, so yeah, it's
So
interesting.
good. I love it.
So what were you saying about your Spotify? Did you find?
I had to pull it up on the computer, so just give me
okay.
1 second because my phone was being stupid.
Nice.
It's not one. So let me find.
Internet glitch.
Oh, we had an internet glitch.
Yeah.
He was at the same time that he was in the Matrix.
It did. It happened when I was in the Matrix. There's your answer there.
That's so cool.
Oh, yeah, when I put it on,
I would love to learn Irish and Gaelic. Like, I think that's so
Nice.
neat.
I know my mom's side of the
It's
family.
more
So
like something
my
like-
mom's dad's side is from Ireland, but it's like so far back that. But my grandma traced it back to like back in the like I want to say Celtic days where they just like basically lived out wherever.
I have Irish in me. I've got Scottish in me. But
I think that's
I'm
Irish.
even gonna attempt
That's
to say that.
That's the Gaelic that he put up above. I had scrolled back up.
Cool. That and Welsh, like those are amazing languages to me.
Yeah. But yeah, when I put this on Spotify, 70% of our audience is from United States, 25% is from Germany, 4% from United Kingdom, and 1% from New Zealand.
Hey,
So that's when I put it on Spotify. I don't know what the analytics is on YouTube, but when I edit it down and put it on to Spotify where they could just listen to us talk, that's our analytics for that.
I bet that Polonia
Look
show
at
that
it,
we did well over there. That's probably Germany, the ones who saw our Polonia show.
I think that's so neat.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll go overseas. Maybe we'll go somewhere in like Germany and we'll like team up.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Steve's mom said we are Irish, German, and Cherokee. I'm pretty sure we have Cherokee in my family too. We have Irish, German,
I already did that one.
Dutch. I know there's Cherokee. At least I think it's Cherokee. It's one of the Native Americans that start with C.
Got some Shawnee, not enough to like qualify for a
Same.
to identify.
You can see it in like our eyes, especially like my mom's brothers and like some of their family. You can see it because our eyes are so dark and everything. But other than that, there's nothing.
Irish, gay, Scottish, German, Welsh, like the entire British Isles. People will be like, "Oh, well, that's where you get like your dark features from, like your dark hair and your dark eyes because of your Native American ancestry." I'm like, interestingly enough, no. My father was a blonde and has blue eyes, and he's the side that the Native. But my granddad, he's really dark. And that's like surprisingly like Pennsylvania Dutch, like the German ancestry side is on. I don't know how all that works, but
My dad's side's like German, Dutch. I want to say there's something else, but I don't remember. And then my mom's side's Irish, Scot, and I believe it's Cherokee. Hopefully I don't have that wrong, but I know it's one of the Indians that start with the C, but I want to say it's Cherokee. But yeah, so we got
like Ancestry.com, they'll like analyze it so much, and it's like 2% Egyptian. It's like 2%. It's like you're half a molecule of being Greek, and I'm like, I don't think that actually counts. Like that. Like, if I can't like find the person.
It sounds almost. We did DNA tests for my dog because I was curious. Almost sounds like that because they have one that's called like Super Mutt because it's like so far down the line, and it was like 3 dogs mixed together. It was like Golden Retriever. I don't remember what the other one was. I want to say Pit Bull, but that's not right. But it was German Shepherd was higher up. It wasn't in that mix. But yeah, it was like Golden Retriever and like 2 other dogs, but they just clustered it as Super Mutt because it was so.
I'm gonna call my dog that. You're a Super Mutt.
What kind of dog you have? Super Mutt.
Super Mutt.
Yeah, and she's got, I think they call it like 1% wolfiness because she's like
Wolfiness is-
14% husky, so that huskies are like closer to the wolf bloodline. So her bloodline is like kind of closer to like the wolf bloodline than some dogs like her. It's kind of hard to explain what they consider wolfiness, but since she's like 14% husky, she's got a higher wolf percent in her.
Higher wolf.
Yeah, he calls her Wolfie. Wolfers, I guess. Wolfers.
Speaking of wolfers, I'm gonna give you some tea. You know, right?
Wolfenstein.
Yeah, Wolfenstein. There we go.
3D.
3D. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that's funny. We're coming up almost 2 hours now.
Yeah, we're over 2 hours.
Over 2 hours. So, I mean, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say or promote, or if you want to stick around more, or if you got to go, that's fine. Whatever you like to do.
Movies.
What was that?
Anything that you're able to talk about that you're working on, or no?
Can't remember.
Then you can't talk about it if you can't remember.
I know we're gonna do as a Brett Piper. Mark said something. Oh, well, there's one I'm really looking forward to coming out, and I think it's called Pandasaurus. And that was a really, like, when that comes out, I'm going to be really excited to talk about. I really want to be involved with like the creating the commentary at the end, like at the special features, because I haven't been able to do that in any of the movies yet. And that one was so much fun to make. Like, talk about like being unscripted. There was like an outline that we based it on, and very different. Loved it. Just like really wanted to make it silly and goofy. So really looking forward to that. I don't know when it's going to come out though. So Pandasaurus, keep your eyes peeled.
Okay. Yeah, I heard they're going to be doing one Doll Shark. There's something coming out. They're going to.
Yeah, they got an Indiegogo for it, so
I guess it was supposed to start today. I don't know. I got to go back on Facebook and check, but I had shared it in the group and everything. And Mark's going to be involved with that too, called Doll Shark.
Yeah, it's going to be going through SRS.
Nope, Pandasaurus I'm looking forward to. I feel like that's going to be, because we had filmed it a couple years ago, so it might be going on too. So that would be really great if that came out. But I don't know. I haven't been given any scripts. I haven't gotten any emails.
You're like, email me if you're watching.
Come on, Mark. It's summer. We have a little bit more free time.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. We'll be off from teaching there.
But I'm glad I was able to come on the show. This was pretty neat. I remember listening when you were doing it with my husband and just like, oh, that sounds cool. And then being able to stay up late on a weekend and then not have to worry about like school the next morning or grading or papers. I was like, wait until June, please. And I could be a human then.
Let's see what's oh, Queen Fan 5 was saying you can use Google Translate to read what he wrote. So
very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you again for having me, and we could do it again. This is fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it again sometime. And
I have to do some more movies because I feel like I talked about all of them, and if I was on like too soon, it'd be like nothing's changed. I'll tell the same.
We could always do the Mandela show.
Oh God! No, I don't like that. It makes me question everything.
The whole night we'll just be questioning ourselves, and it'll just be getting worse.
That's to be my thing. I need different things.
We'll be like crying by the end of the show.
Not therapeutic. We'll all need therapy.
You'll need therapy after that.
Go home and hug the puppy.
Queen Fan said you and your husband should be on. Yeah, we can do a double show too.
That would be fun. So maybe after Pandasaurus comes on, we'll do a duel. That would be really fun.
Nice. I can't wait for that one. This sounds fun. The title alone sounds fun.
Yes,
I
it does.
really loved the actual Pandasaurus. Like I told Mark, I was like, I really want to keep him. He did a great job on the prop on the character. Like, I had to go home. I was like, I hope he stays. Like I hope that becomes part of like the Polonia collection.
Nice. Demon Hunter 777 says, "I love you, Natalie."
Aww.
Someone just came in. Yeah, right at the end. Welcome, but yeah.
Sorry, I had to run away. I had to go bathroom.
Did you have any other questions?
I was starting to kind of squirm. I was like, I gotta go. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm hearing
that. So let's see.
That's my honey.
The source, yeah.
Yeah, that's me. So yeah, that's my only plug. So when that comes out, we'll all have a good time. I'm sure there's others that smaller roles, but Pandasaurus sticks out.
You're saying like panda, like the panda bear, right?
Like Panda Bear.
Just making sure I was hearing you correctly.
Yeah, like just imagine a panda and a saurus got together. Like that's what this is.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
It's darling and it's wonderful.
Oh, I didn't realize that was.
It's okay. It's not a creepy pastor.
Hey, okay, I didn't know that was your
You didn't know because I was like, yes, no reaction. Like,
I thought it was like a fan saying, "Oh, I love you. You're great."
wow.
Yeah, it's
more like I don't know who that is.
I was like, "Oh, Demon Hunter, we got a new follower here. All right, yes."
I sometimes do that to mine when he pops in chat. I'll just ignore him.
Oh.
You know, he's sitting right over there. You usually hear me. I'll either.
Oh, and Tim said, and of course, you're in the centerfold of Rue Morgue magazine too, that had recently came out.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I have to find that magazine. We'll have to get it.
Yeah, definitely, especially if you're in it.
Yeah, that was. I love watching trailers whenever the trailers come out, and I'm like, if I've made the trailer, that's a really big deal for me.
There's a way to psych out your fellow co-teachers. Just be like, I was a centerfold in a magazine. What magazine? Rue Morgue. Rue Morgue. Rue Morgue. It's the magazine.
That would not be the step I want to make.
no, I know, but it's just funny though.
He called into the principal's office.
Magazine.
So you do movies and you're in magazines? No, not like that. Nope.
Yeah, you gotta find somebody with a good sense of humor.
Yeah, that may not be the people I work with.
Yeah, then you gotta worry if somebody without sense of humor like over listens or eavesdrops.
Tim's going, my angel's a centerfold. Because my angel's a centerfold. Just kidding. Oh, that's funny.
Queen's like, out of everybody to join late to the stream. He's talking about Titus. That's great.
Yes. Oh.
These queens have fun.
Yeah. And now know for future reference too, Demon Hunter. I know who that is now. I was all excited at first, thinking I had someone new. Like, yay, a new one.
I'm very excited.
But then it's like, oh, it's just Titus. Never mind.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, Titus.
We love you, Titus. Don't listen to him. Oh, shoot.
All right. Well, anyway, thanks again. And it's been fun. And we'll definitely have you and Titus on eventually. So, yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night.
See ya. Bye. That's great.
Queen said, why does he have to come in late?
They're all shocked. You never know who's going to pop in our chat.
Yep. It's a mystery.
We've had Titus. Let's see, John Dalton Dalton.
Yeah,
I don't know where I got Dalton from. Dalton's popped in our chat.
That's the Mandela effect. How you remember it?
I can't remember who else. I know there's been other people that's popped in our chat. Oh,
Yeah.
before we had Rob Mello on, him popping in our chat.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mhm.
That was fun. It was
Yep.
fun. They're always fun, especially when we have guests. They're more fun when we have guests. Usually, if it's just us, oh, we poke fun of each other, so I guess it could be
Are
fun.
you saying I'm not fun? Jeez, thanks.
No, you are not fun. Neither am I.
Well, at least you can admit it. Ah. So yeah, next week we'll have both. We got double guests joining us. Steve Rudinski and Eileen will be joining us, and we'll be. They just recently wrapped up Shingles, and that's actually based on the book series that there was. So we'll be
It was
talking
just
about
funny
that.
the way you said that. It's just like that's not what popped in my head.
Are you thinking shingles when you get them on your back? Like after having chicken pox, I've got shingles.
But yeah,
Not that
yeah.
shingles. But yeah, and whatever else they've been working on. And even though it's been out a while, I'm sure Carousel 2, of course, will be brought up.
Yeah,
So.
Carousel 2. And yeah, I can't think of what else I've been in. You'll have to send me their name spellings again because I'll have to search chat for their names, and I don't really want to put that much effort in.
Yeah. So, and then we'll figure out for the 25th what's going on. So I sent out a couple of messages there, and so. Yes, Steve was the pizza guy in Carousel. Mm-hmm. I personally think he had one of the funniest parts in the movies.
Yes, he was my favorite character.
Trying to get his money. Trying to get his money for his pet's operation.
Yes. But yeah.
And he was being hit on and everything he said. Now, why would you do that? Like he did not get the sexual jokes. Oh yeah, I know that's how it's spelled there.
Yeah, I was just telling him to send it to me because I gotta make the thumbnail, so I gotta make sure it's spelled correctly when I look up their names. So that was just having to tell him to send it to me.
I like when the pizza cutter gets me. He's like, I know what a pizza looks like that.
Because I don't want to mess up. Because God knows who will pop up if you spell it wrong. But I was just telling him to send it to me so I can look up their pictures to make the thumbnail.
Yeah, but I thought he was going to send me some pictures. I'll have to send him one more message. Well, I mean, I'll tell him, you still got plenty of time, of course.
I don't remember what his character's name was, but he was the pizza delivery guy. So if that guy's name was Joe, then maybe. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember if his name was Joe.
I don't think it was Joe, no.
I just remember him as the pizza delivery guy. But yeah, he
was it Joe?
Did he make that film? Didn't he?
He wrote it and directed. Yeah, it's his project. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's actually he was on the show before. I don't know if you've gone through my playlist or whatever, but if you wanted to watch I think he was like on episode 4 or 5. I got double
something like that because it was before I joined.
Yeah, it was before you came on. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was Joe. If that's, I'm gonna look it up real quick. But yeah, it could be Joe. Carousel. Let's see. Must have him like at the end of the credit list here, Joe Pro. Or did he not credit himself? I don't even see him in Internet Movie Database unless I went over his. Because there's Steve from Peachy, who was Duke, of course. I know, like, he didn't even want to, when he was talking, he didn't even want to do that part. He got pressured into doing it.
So when he's Spider-Man something, I remember watching this show, and I think he just, like, goes out and does, like, I want to say it was, like, conventions or something. I don't think
he's like, whenever they need a Spider-Man, he works for Marvel, like for events and.
Okay, yeah, but he wasn't like in a movie or something. Though.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't in the movie. No.
Okay, I didn't think so, but yeah, I thought it was something to that effect.
But yeah,
I remember watching it.
But he gets paid by Marvel to do that, so yeah. not a bad paying gig. Actually, yeah, as in the cast though, he's not listed as the pizza. I'm gonna have to watch it now. He's not even listed in it. Because, like I said, he said he didn't even really want to do that role in the carousel, and he just ended up doing it. They all told him he should do it, but
give me a second there.
yeah, Marvel Live. That's what it is. Yeah, but yeah, we can ask him about that next week.
Excuse me. Give me 1 second, and I will have that link where you can watch the old show with him in it in the chat. If you just give me 1 second.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I'm popping it in right now. So here's the old episode with him. And then let me find the one. Why are you still playing? Stop. Go away. I know we got one with how do you say her name? Eileen?
Yeah, Eileen. Yeah.
Share. Copy. Go over here.
Yeah, Shingles is done.
All right. The first one is
done
Steve.
filming anyway, so I'm not sure when it's going to be out, but hopefully soon. So you said the first one was with
the first link is Steve,
okay,
and the second link is Eileen.
Yeah,
I don't want to say that wrong, but yeah. So yeah, if you want to see those two before next week, I got the links in the chat to both of those episodes.
So it'll be fun having them back and talking about their newer stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? We might even find out what else they got in store. So
yeah. Sometimes we find out stuff that we're not supposed to know.
Or I mean, not that we're not supposed to know, but stuff that sometimes they can't talk about, and sometimes they're like, "Hey, yeah, we can say it." So
I know it still amazes me because when Brian Brimmer came on, he said he was on an episode of Joe Bob, and I thought for sure that it would have played by now, and it hasn't. So I keep like waiting. It's like, how long ago or how much longer do we gotta wait?
He said he's on. He said he was on an episode.
Yeah, he said he was going to be on a Joe Bob episode, unless I misunderstood him, and he was just at the like convention thing with Joe Bob. But I could have swore he said he was going to be on that one of the episodes with Joe Bob. And I've been waiting. I was like, it's never coming. I probably misunderstood him. More than likely is what it was.
I'll have to go back and watch that show then because I don't remember.
Yeah, well, you can. I think you can watch the clip I made. I think I clipped it. Maybe not, because I think I just clipped out about Society.
I think you clipped out about Society and the milkshake or whatever, or like you were joking around about the milkshake.
Yeah, I can't remember if I added the Joe Bob thing in there or not, but yeah, I remember him saying something, but maybe he was just at a convention. More than likely, that's what it was. I just misunderstood him, but I could have swore he said he was on one of the episodes, and I was like, they should have played it by now. I don't think they're that far behind with filming, but I could be wrong. He might have just been at some event with him or something, and I just misunderstood him. I'm going to take that as it is. It's my fault. I misunderstood. But yeah, that Pandasaurus, that sounds amazing. I want to see a panda and a dinosaur mixed together. How the hell they're going to do that? Is it going to have like a panda head and a dinosaur body? Or is it going to be different? Is it going to be flipped and it's going to be a dino head with a panda body? Or is it going to be patchy? A little bit of scales here, a little bit of fur there.
Who knows?
A messed up panda dinosaur mix of a face.
It's going to be pandemonium.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that concoction. I just noticed my hat is gone. Oh, I see it. I have a Jurassic Park hat, and I was like, it's gone. It has like camouflage on it, but the camouflage looks like dinosaurs.
Yeah, the new movie came out yesterday, so
I know.
Was it last week or yesterday? I don't know, but I heard there weren't really. Some people were giving it bad reviews, though, like saying, "Oh, this needs to go extinct."
A friend of mine seen it. The only person I don't know this person personally, but they usually talk in the Joe Bob group. They said they saw it and they said it was just as over the top as they thought it was, and it was amazing. But it's my Jurassic Park hat. I don't really wear hats all that much because the way I wear my hair, I have to wear it differently because it would look stupid like that. But when I have it in my bun, I can't wear it like that, so I don't wear hats as much. But I still get them because I wear them occasionally, not often. I went to the Indiegogo for shingles, and the $1,000 signed dildo nunchucks are so. Oh my goodness, they are going deathgasm in this. Nice.
Someone paid $1,000 for dildo nunchucks. I just wish I had $1,000, not even for
right. Well, we're 68 cents on the way. So.
Yes. Woohoo! Money.
So yeah, we're getting up there. We got 68 cents. But yes, dildo nunchucks. That's almost like, if you ever seen Deathgasm, because they battle with dildos. But they don't have dildo nunchucks. I said numchucks. They're numb. Nice. $1,250, but still, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah. Shoot. Over $1,200. Damn.
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy.
Oh, I guess I better get going shortly. I'm gonna go ahead and deliver some breakfast tomorrow. So.
Yeah, we gotta go pick up groceries. I have to go and limp dick nunchucks.
No, nunchucks. They're limp. They're numb. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, you won't be able to read it on Spotify, but for the people who are watching this, limp dick nunchucks. There you go.
I started something. They're nunchucks. That's my awesome reading skills.
Next week will be fun, though. I'm looking forward to talking to Steve again. He's cool.
Yeah, and I haven't got to talk to him yet. I haven't got to meet him yet. So
yep.
That'll be fun.
Well, yep. So thanks for joining us again, Queen Fan. We'll see you next week. And everybody else who's joined, listening, watched, whatever, thank you. And, you can always watch those 2 past shows. We do have the Facebook group again that'll announce all of the guests. So if you haven't and you have Facebook, go ahead and join that group and keep up to date. So, all right. Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.